Hello, everyone. This is Aaron from Deep Dive Discography speaking to Titan from Hammer King. How are you today, sir?
Hey, nice being with you. I'm fine. Thanks a lot.
It's good to hear. I mean, we spoke not that long ago because you guys just released an album.
Yeah, right. I remember. Must have been around 14 months.
Yeah. I think it came up in my memories. It was almost a year ago to the day.
It could be. I gotta look it up. I got a
Yeah,
list with all the dates.
I know it's crazy, but you've got a new album.
Yeah.
What's with the quick turnaround? Everyone else takes so long.
Basically, it's three different answers to the question. First of all, we have been blessed to be able to play some shows for the last album, which was not what everybody did. Some of them never played a single show. We played, I think, 8 shows for the last album, which means we had plenty of time. And at the same time, we were pretty sure that the festivals would be coming back this year. So Napalm Records said that if we want to have a new album by the summer, it would be interesting to have the album ready for the festivals. And so we thought we'd take the chance and give our best and produce a new album in the short time. I mean, I think we agreed on that in November, and we hit the studio in early February. So some of the songs had already been there, of course, but we did the basic work in December and early January. And we try to recapture some of the spirit that the old bands used to have. You think like bands like Judas Priest and Saxon, who even had two studio albums in one year.
Yeah.
So why not have one album every year? Yeah, we went for it. And I mean, it was the best pastime you could have, actually.
So you didn't get to tour or play too much with the last album. Are you hoping to kind of fill out the set with both more so than just the
totally.
one?
No, totally. For the first time ever, we have even mixed the decoration on stage. We have a huge backdrop featuring the artwork of Kingdemonium, and at the same time, we have two more or less gigantic flags on the right and on the left side, on the right and the left side from the drums, and they already sport the cover motive from last year's Hammer King album. So we have a mix of both because, as you said, we will practically be promoting both albums at the same time, which is interesting because you need a lot of stage time actually to do so. If we're allowed to play a huge show, like maybe 90 plus 100 minutes, 2 hours, we will certainly have 5 songs from each new album, and the rest is going to be classics. So it's going to be a long set list.
Of course. How many of these songs were ready from the self-titled album?
No song at all.
None.
No leftovers at all. The only thing that we sort of resurrected was what is the verse from the Seventh of the Seven Kings. That used to be a verse of a big epic song that we thought was fantastic. It was too long for the Hammer King album. When we listened to it again this year, or last year, we figured out that it wasn't that fantastic. It was more the idea of having a very long song, but it didn't really work. So we really liked the verse. And when we had the music for the Seventh King, we didn't have a verse. And at one point I said, why not just sing the old verse over the new song, which is in a totally different key? And we did so. It totally changed the mood, but it really worked. So we kept this simple little piece of music, and the rest is all new.
Was it kind of easy to get back into the writing style?
Yes and no. More yes than no. Every time we start working on new music, it's I mean, the first couple of efforts are kind of frustrating because you always live up to the image that you have of your latest album, which you basically like a lot. And I mean, the Hammer King album was a very strong album, or it still is a strong album. So we thought it's tricky to follow this album. And the first songs that we did never ended up even on the demo. And then after a while, we started clearing our heads a bit and then just going for whatever happened musically. And we tried this, what we call the sabotage tuning, where you tune the lowest string a whole step lower actually. And we tried some of the riffs with that tuning, and that was different, and it really gave us a sort of a liberty to really try things and not try to recapture what we already had done. And once we started this, and we have not used that on all the songs, it's maybe on 5 songs or so, the album started feeling very fresh. And that's always the point that I enjoy a lot, because when you have reached that point, you just keep making music, and we keep writing and writing and writing. In the end, we will probably end up like having 30 or 35 song ideas, and then you just re-listen to them every week. And when you like it, you keep working. When you don't like it, you just press stop and use the next one. And in the end, you will entertain yourself and only work on what you really like and just throw away the rest. So it's I always say to Gino, our guitar player, it's not your children, it's not your girlfriend, it's just an idea. If it's not perfect, throw it away. You don't owe that thing a single bit. So he's very protective of song ideas, and I've learned to throw them away and just write new ones. When a good one is there, you feel it and you just keep working.
Yeah, sometimes you kind of you get a little bit too close to it.
That's right, yeah. That's right.
So with the summer festivals coming up, what songs are you looking forward to taking out on the road with you?
It's painful, whatever we choose, because whenever you choose a new one, you have to get rid of an old one. And I mean, we've just played Rock Hearts, which is, I think it's the 3rd biggest German festival. I'm not sure. I think it's the 3rd biggest. It was fantastic. And we had 45 minutes, which is not bad. But 45 minutes for Hammer King is problematic, because we usually do some, what's the English word for that? Let's say some moderation to the songs, some speeches that really belong to the song. And sometimes these moderations, they take 3 minutes. And if you play 45 and you have an intro tape and you want to have a photo with the audience at the end, it's basically like 40 minutes of music, and then the moderations, and then you end up playing 8 songs maybe, and that's very short. So at the Rock Hearts Festival, we played Pariah Is My Name, because the single had been out by that time. Well, we're gonna play Summer Breeze, which I think is the second biggest festival. We're gonna play that in exactly on August the 20th. And when we do that, we will have 3 singles out. So we should play all 3 of them. But again, we have 45 minutes, which is a problem. So we probably will only play 2 of them. I don't know. Maybe the title track and Pariah is going to be Pariah Is My Name and Invisible King. We have not tried so far. And that's going to be problematic. For the longer shows, we certainly will play Invisible King, Pariah Is My Name. We might play We Shall Rise. We will try Live Long Dynasty. We certainly will play the title track. And if the setlist is really long, we totally want to play Age of Horizon, because we want to play these shitty long guitar solos just once in our lives.
So are you guys kind of looking into maybe planning a tour around having an hour and a half?
Yeah, that would be fantastic. That would be fantastic. But the fact is, if we get on a tour or if we get support shows, it's always going to be 50 minutes. If they're very gracious, it's going to be 60 minutes. And in the festival situation, it's going to be 45 or sometimes even 40 minutes for the first couple of years. So we will have to work around that. And whenever we can play club shows, which we will do in October and November, whenever we can play club shows, we're going to play long sets, because we really do like playing long sets. And then we will play as many songs as possible. But I mean, when you play them live, you will find out what the audience reaction is. And if the reaction to the new songs is outrageous, we will throw away more of the old songs. But at first, of course, it's always the same. The people know the old songs, so they are already into them, and they don't know what to do with the new ones, which did not happen last year, because the songs from the Hammer King album really worked a lot. And so far, Pariah has worked very well too. So it's going to be, in German language, you say you have to die one death at least, and that's going to be the same here. Either you throw away the old ones or the new ones. You will have to sacrifice some of the songs anyway.
So besides Summer Breeze, what else do you have planned for the summer?
We have already played some rather smallish festivals. smallish, like 2,000 people or so. And we did the Summer Breeze and the Rock Hearts. It's going to be one new festival. I can't remember the name because it's going to happen for the first time alongside with Gravedigger, Mystic Prophecy, War Kings, and so on. So that's going to be a one-day festival in September, I think, somewhere in Bavaria, southern Germany. And then the club shows will come up. So far, I think we have booked like 5, 6, 7 of them. So that's the plan. We have finished all the videos. The last one we did two weeks ago, again with Mirko Witzki, who did the video for Awaken the Thunder and also for Pariah Is My Name. This time we worked in the studio. We had some decorations and some acting, and it was really very funny and very, very long. So that's going to be a good video.
So outside of set times, you know, just ignore how long you have on stage. Do you kind of have a preference between festivals or clubs?
I mean, the musicians have been taught to say that they love the club shows because it's more intimate. And at the moment, I must say the festival shows are amazing because, I mean, if you think of the Rock Hearts, for example, the festival was sold out with 25,000 people. Of course, never all 25 are standing in front of the stage, not even for the headlining act, but you get a lot of people there. And if I play a club show with a band, if we play a club show, it's basically the people that we can already reach. So if you play the festivals, you will reach a shitload of people that have never heard anything of your band before. So at this moment, I totally say the festivals, just for the reason that we want to gain a larger following. If I'm diplomatic, I say it's both, because when you do the club shows, you basically have a lot of time for sound check and setup. So usually the club shows are relaxed, so you feel better probably. So both are perfect. But if I have to pick just one, I will go for the festivals.
And obviously with festivals, a lot of the time you're out in the sun, you're playing in really hot weather. How difficult does that get? Yeah,
totally. The Rock Hearts Festival was totally butt kicking because we had storms and rain. So my whole technical stuff was standing that deep in the water, and I thought that's a great concept. Singing into a microphone, having the guitar, and standing there with electronic things in the water. Nothing happened. Everything worked, but that was really strange. I never had that before.
You're kind of running into that fear of, am I about to be electrocuted?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I think the bass player of Uriah Heep did that in the 70s. Gary Thane, I think.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a good time.
No.
And obviously you guys wear like full stage getup, do you not?
Yeah.
Yeah, which totally probably makes it a little bit worse as it gets hotter.
Yeah, totally. Never surrender.
So who would be your bucket list bands for either taking out with you or going on the road with?
Saxon. Maybe it's gonna be a 3 bands package. So it will be Saxon. Let's make it big. Saxon, Powerwolf, and Hammer King. So I don't know if Saxon will be the headlining act or Powerwolf. I think still it should be Saxon. I think they're still bigger. So Saxon, Powerwolf, and Hammer King. That would be fun.
I know it's hard to say because Saxon are big, kind of, but I think Powerwolf play bigger venues.
You might be right. Yeah, you might be right. I think Saxon are still probably higher on the festival billing. But if you go to the tour, you might be right. Powerful have the bigger venues, so it's going to be Powerwolf, Saxon, and us. Well, that hurts not having Saxon. That's the headlining act. Whatever.
Would you prefer to headline? I mean, it's your fantasy. You can headline if you want.
Okay, I get the point. Yeah, it's gonna be Hammer King, Saxon, and Powerwolf. I hope that Charles does not hear that. No, if it's my fantasy, I will do one for Charles and me. It's gonna be the Ramones, Powerwolf, and Hammer King, because Charles and I are gigantic Ramones fans, so that would be interesting. But basically, I'd go for Saxon. I really would like to play with them. They're one of my all-time favorite bands, and I just said a couple of days ago, Saxon is the only old English band that has never really lost the initial spark, that sort of English feeling to it. I mean, Maiden are Maiden, and Judas Priest are maybe not Judas Priest anymore now with two other guitarists on stage, whatever. But it's Saxon still feels there's the same sort of spirit in the Carpe Diem album than you have on Wheels of Steel. Although the band has changed a lot and the music is different, but it's in Biff's vocals. He is Biff. I mean, he's so original. He's one of my favorite vocalists. He's just unique.
Well, they are doing a UK tour. Maybe you should see about hopping on that.
Yes, I'm in.
I don't think they have support right now, so there you go.
Oh, okay, just give me a second. I will call him. If I could, I would do totally. Nice people, by the way. Yeah.
So when it comes to the club shows where you get a little bit more time, which songs are you really hoping to belt out from both the last album and this one, since they're both on promo?
Okay. I will start with Hammer King. Awaken the Thunder, Baptized by the Hammer, Hammerschlag, maybe Atlantis, King of Kings, maybe even Ashes to Ashes, Invisible King, Pariah Is My Name, maybe We Shall Rise, Live Long Dynasty, Kingdemonium, Age of Horizon. That's 12 songs. I think that's too much, but if it's a fantasy, it's got to be 12 songs.
That's almost the whole set.
Yeah, maybe then we will add another 8 songs from the early albums, and we're gonna have 20 songs, which I think is 20 songs is really. If I go to a show and a band plays like 20 songs, I say that's fantastic. I mean, Saxon usually go for 18 or so, so that's. I like long set lists. I mean, if it's not feeling long, if you really think, I mean. Basically, you go and have 15 songs and then do 5 as an encore. So it's a packed set, and you still have a long evening, maybe like this. Or maybe we'll have 10 songs of the last 2 albums. It depends on whatever we would have to kick.
Yeah, and obviously, I mean, long sets, you always want your money's worth, but sometimes they do drag a little bit if you're not pacing the songs out right.
Yeah, totally. It has to be a movement. Starting from the first song and really taking you over to the 15th, and then have a break probably. It shouldn't feel long. You always should have the feeling of, wow, yeah, great. Now that's the next song. Okay, I want to hear that one. If you can do that, that's fantastic.
So last but not least, do you have any final notes you'd like to give to your fans listening in?
Yeah, we want to be on that Saxon tour. And the other thing is, we totally want to tour. I mean, the last 2 years were problematic. Everybody knows that. And now this year is also quite packed, because all the tours that got postponed are happening at the same time, basically. This is why it's quite tricky to find a spot to play at the moment. Some of the clubs have disappeared. Some of the clubs are still there, but then they are booked. So what we really want to say is that we want to play as many shows as possible. Damn, we would like to come to Scotland. I've never been there, never before in my life. We would like to play everywhere around the world, starting with the core of Europe, probably. So to the Scottish people out there, keep your fingers crossed. We hopefully will play there. I hope so.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
And the best thing anyone can do is talk to your promoter.
Yeah, totally. Absolutely. We're in touch.
Yeah.
But he told me one thing. He said usually in normal times, 30% of the bands are on the road and the rest are not on the road. In 2022, 95% of the bands are on the road. So it's tricky. So a lot of work, and I mean, the audience is not getting bigger if you have 95% of the bands on the road at the same time. So I keep my fingers crossed for 23. I think that's going to be a relaxed year.
Yeah, the biggest issue right now is I find a lot of tours are going around with 5 to 6 bands.
Oh yeah.
And you're not really getting proper sets from anyone, or there's too much going on. By the time the headliner comes on, you're toast.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So yeah, it is an issue. But yeah, anyone who wants to see a band in their city, talk to your promoters and your local promoters. Tell them who you want to see. That's how you get them up here.
Yeah, and totally, you can contact us through the website, or Facebook always works. You will totally get us. We will talk with everyone, and we totally want to play.
There you go. And the new album, Kingdemonium, is out August 19th through Napalm Records.
Absolutely.
It has not been very long since the last one, so I'm sure you guys are still on everyone's mind.
I hope so. I think so.
Well, thank you so much, Titan. I very much appreciate your time.
I thank you a lot. It was a pleasure. And I'm gonna hop to the next interview in a couple of minutes. So thank you for kicking off my interview day. It was a pleasure.
Problem. Thank you so much.
See you next year. Maybe in 24.
Maybe. I wouldn't mind next year.
Oh, I wouldn't mind. So yeah, let's make it next year.
Perfect.
Thanks a lot. God bless the king. May the king bless you.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.